welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It's 2,000 points. It is Challenger Scorpion, a new player here and a new army. It's Red Scorpions will be taking part in this battle, fighting across this desert train, this Imperial compound. They will be up against the Necrons here in this epic clash. Right, welcome to this 2,000 points game. It's Challenger Scorpion. I'm going to run the Necrons here. This is virtually the finished list as they take on the Red Scorpions in this battle. So I'm going to run through the army here. It is battle forged. It's a battalion, so it's 8 command points available. So I have 3 HQs, 2 Cryptex, the one on foot just here, with the Staff of Light. He's got the Chronometron as well, so you can grant a 5+ invuln save to infantry units within 6 inches. And I've made him the Warlord. He's taken Immortal Pride, so he's able to deny a psychic power once in each enemy psychic phase, and also he is able to grant Ignore Morale for infantry units or units within 6 inches. He's to help protect the gun line. Then a second Cryptech. He has the Cloak, so he has the Fly keyword, is able to move 10 inches, and he is able to help with reanimation protocols, +1 to the roll, and also he's able to repair units that have the living metal. It's D3 wounds restored at the start of the turn. Then the third HQ is Tamun Ra. He's on the Catacomb Command Barge. He has the War Scythe, close combat weapon for him. I've given him a relic. Lightning Field gives him a 4+ invulnerable save to help keep him alive, as well as the Quantum Shield that he's equipped with as well. He's also armed with a heavy Gauss cannon. Then on to troops. To fulfill the battalion, have 3 units. 1 unit of 10 Immortals with their Gauss blasters, a unit of 15 Necron warriors, and then 14 Necron warriors, just the way the points have worked out, to make up the 3rd unit of infantry. I have gone for Mefrit Dynasty, so units that get within rapid fire range will be an extra -1 on their AP. On to elites. I have taken Triarch Praetorians. There's 10 of them. An expensive unit, 320 points for those. They are armed with their particle casters and void blades for them as well, like power swords. That's what they're equipped with, and they are able to take reanimation protocols for them. Then along the back line here, 5 Wraiths with their 3+ invuln saves. Then 4 Necron Destroyers with their heavy Gauss cannons, and then finally 1 Necron Monolith. We've kept that in the list, ready to use that in this battle. So that's virtually the finished Necron list. Plan to drop one of the Wraiths and then take another Destroyer, but other than that, this army is finished. But up against an interesting army here, Red Scorpions. A new player will take a look and see this Red Scorpion list. Right, so 2,000 points of Red Scorpions. A new player here, it's Tom Cothier. He's come down, he's brought his Red Scorpions along. Very impressive, and a good mix of Forge World models here as well. So looking forward to seeing how well they can do against the Necrons. 2 armies boasting some nasty firepower. I think this will be an interesting fight, but we'll let Tom run through what he has in his list.
Alright, so this is my 2,000 points of Red Scorpions. I have a Supreme Command Detachment with Kassan Sabius, Cullen the Risen, and Severin Loth. I have a battalion, is the rest of them here, with my 2 HQs, which are 2 Primaris Lieutenants. I have a Primaris Ancient with the banner of the Emperor's Ascendant, 3 Intercessor squads, a 10-man Hellblaster squad, a Leviathan Dreadnought. Now this is actually equipped with 2 Storm cannons instead of the Gravflux Bombard, and a Redemptor equipped with everything that's seen on it there.
Alright, so that's Tom's list here. Similar to the list that I'm putting together. I don't have these impressive Forge World models, but putting together an army that's a similar kind of structure. If you like the way the Red Scorpions look as you see them in the game, Tom has said that he did follow the tutorial that is on the channel. So check out the painting tutorial for Red Scorpions and follow along step by step, just like Tom has done, to achieve the same results. But we're really looking forward to this. 2 armies quite well matched, we reckon, but we've never seen this kind of clash before, so it'll be interesting to see how this game pans out. We'll go on to scenario and deployment next. Alright, so the scenario has been determined here. It's been randomly chosen here from the Warhammer 40,000 rulebook, and it's mission number 1, Retrieval Mission here. It's a bit of narrative starting to build here in this scenario. So search and destroy is the deployment. Necrons in this corner, we chose to go this side, and then the Red Scorpions across the other side there. There's 4 objectives on the board. Each of those is worth 3 victory points. So 2 of them are inside the Necron deployment zone. This one and this one. And then in no man's land here, next to this container, is another objective. And then next to the burnt out drop pod here is another objective nicely inside the Red Scorpion deployment zone. I have to say that immediately puts some pressure on the Red Scorpions here, because the Necrons do secure 2 of them straight away. If they're held at the end of the game, each of those is worth 3 victory points each. There's also points available for Slay the Warlord, First Blood, and Line Breaker as well. So we can see the scenario here. Red Scorpions in the area, been given orders to capture these Imperial assets here, but also no doubt they'll be ordered to push deeper into Necron-held territory and cleanse the area of these cursed machines. We'll go on to deployment next. We'll start alternating placing units on the board. Just to mention the battle mats that we're using in this game, or the battle mat, it's by gamemat.eu. You can check them out. Sands of Time, this one's called. It matches really well with my desert terrain. So it rolls out nice and flat, 6x4 in size, like the mouse mat material. Soft on this side here, and then there's another material where they print the design on top. And then we just simply put the terrain down, use some scatter and some lichen, and then blend it all in. Some of the terrain that we're using as well, this industrial set, these buildings here and here and all this piping, that's from a terrain set by gamemat.eu as well. So you can check them out for terrain and for battle mats as well. So we're deploying here at the moment. A lot of thought and effort going into this here. Tom thinking about where best to go. Should he play aggressive? No, the Necrons have a potentially nasty gun line. Or does he hold back? Necron firepower will not exceed the range of 24, but it's an army that does like to move towards the centre of the table and sort of cover all the areas from there. There's the monolith that can descend down. The monolith's also able to pull units around the table as well. Wraiths are quick enough, Triarch Praetorians. So Tom just trying to think of an all-round plan to deal with the Necrons, but also the ultimate aim of the game is to secure those objectives as well. Both armies have reliable troops units to call upon in this objective-based game. Okay, so deployment is done. Both sides clustering together here. There's benefits and bonuses being granted here, reroll bubbles and so on for both armies. So it'll be interesting here to see which bubble bursts first in this game. Necrons then deploying aggressively with them. It's paid off for them before. So 15 Necron warriors inside the room. We're playing this as cover, just the cutoff point is along there, so that's fine for them. Cryptex just here, the Warlord. The Immortals just making use of this line of sight blocking terrain. The Triarch Praetorians as well, trying to hide as much as possible behind the terrain, just anticipating not going first here. Necron Warriors Unit 14, just up to their deployment edge. Then Tamun Ra behind, the other Cryptek, the flying one. Hidden around here is the Destroyers, then the Wraiths around here clustering onto the objective at the back. So the Monolith is in reserve here for the Necrons, ready to come down turn 1 in our own deployment zone, and then turn 2 onwards somewhere else potentially. So Red Scorpion deployment next. The 3 Dreadnoughts here on this side getting ready to move out. It's aggressive deployment from them as well. It is Raven Guard that Tom is using here. It's a -1 to hit, which will be helpful. Intercessors here right at the front, and then behind them Hellblasters. One big squad or combat squads?
One big squad. One
big squad of 10. Okay, the banner next to them, or just behind them, and then 2 units of intercessors at the back. Tom aware of the potential of the monolith deep striking down. The Psycho, what's his name?
Severin Loth.
Severin Loth at the back there.
And Cassan Sabius is here.
Sabius is there just behind the smoke. All right, so deployment done. No reserves at all for the Red Scorpions. They are no holding back either. Okay, so we are looking forward to this here. I think turn 1 may well prove to be important, but I think both armies have a lot of resilience, so hopefully whichever side goes second should be able to absorb the initial damage coming in. That's what we reckon, but we'll see. We'll roll off now. This is perhaps the scariest part of the game. We finished deploying first, so we'll get +1. Tom's not going to roll here, so I'm just going to roll the dice to get a 1. Tom gets a 3. Well done. I'll try and seize initiative. No. Red Scorpions, bit of fist pumping going on here. Red Scorpions will go first. That's good news for them. They will get to move out and fire first against the cursed machine. We'll go on to turn 1. The Red Scorpions will make the first move. Okay, so we're on movement phase here. Tom considering what to do. He has turn 1, so the question is, how aggressive do you go? We've said that he's in a losing position here at the start because he holds 1 objective. One of them is out here in no man's land. The Necrons are parked on 2. So Necrons will be gaining 6 points here as opposed to the Red Scorpions 3. So they have to play aggressive, but it can't be reckless because the Necrons will make you pay for potential mistakes. So Tom will need to come up with a plan here how to deal with this Necron force. We'll drive them back, keep them back, and then flush them out from this area here, and then on to ultimate victory. But it's a tough task. But then again, for the Necrons, tough task for them. How do we assault this triple dreadnought here? Force plus all the Hellblasters and the resilience of the Primaris Marines as well. Both armies, I think, are tough here, so it'll be a real challenge. This game could go any way for sure. Alright, so movement's done. Difficult here, difficult mission for the Red Scorpions, trying to flush out a Necron army from this area, but they have to. So the Dreadnoughts have moved out, but all of them keep them within 6 inches of this guy. What's his name again?
Kassan Sabius.
Sabius,
Yeah,
alright.
Chapter Master.
And he will grant reroll
Everything.
everything. Nice.
Not wounds, but just hits.
Hits, alright. So all 3 of these Dreadnoughts here. And the Hellblasters adjusting their position to go within 6 inches of him as well. So massive benefits being granted here. And Tom moving out in this direction with this Leviathan Dreadnought. Now it has a view down in this direction to shoot at the Necron infantry. Then the other 2 advancing here as well. They can see a few of the Necron targets available to be shot at as well. Infantry has held position apart from the Hellblasters, and this Squadron Lieutenant have moved down in this direction. I think Tom's going to go for a softening up approach here on turn 1, try and put some firepower into these Necrons, and then take it from there. We'll see what happens. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next for the Red Scorpions on turn 1. Okay, Psychic Phase finished. Smite out of range, Null Zone out of range, but Might of Heroes has been cast on Caleb Coln here, so he is now extra attack, +1 strength, toughness, and then toughness 9, which is almost unheard of here in our games. So that is Psychic Phase finished. On to Shooting Phase next. This is quite an important point here. How much damage can the Red Scorpions do against the Necron machine? Okay, so on Shooting Phase here, Tom picking up handfuls of dice here. So going to start with this Leviathan Dreadnought. The armament on there is?
It is 2 Storm Cannon arrays.
Okay, 20 shots here.
And it's...
He's going after the Necron Warriors here. Going to try and reduce those down.
So hitting on 2s normally, but I moved. So heavy, it's because it's heavy, we're hitting on 3s.
Yep.
And then re-rolling everything because of being within 6 of the Chapter Master.
Okay, it's a lot of hits.
17.
Okay, so Necron Warriors will be on a 4+ save, 5+ invuln save. Strength with the weapon?
7.
3s to wound. This is exceptionally good. 15 by the looks of it. So, 15 saves here will drop to our 5+ invuln save being granted by the Cryptek, and shouldn't wipe the unit out, but I think he's going to tear a chunk out of them for sure. So, yeah, not bad. We've made a good number of saves, but there's a lot of damage come through here. We have lost 9 Necron Warriors from that squad. Ouch. Okay, so that was impressive. Necron Warriors have been hurt there. Now Tom's just rolling up the number of shots coming from the Redemptor Dreadnought here, firing through. This is the main plasma weapon here. 4 shots coming through.
So normally needing 3s, but because I moved needing 4s.
4s, yes.
Re-rolling everything. So
yeah, this re-rolling is helpful. This is good.
And then 2s because it's strength 8. Re-rolling 1s because of my lieutenant is hopefully within.
Yes, there's a lieutenant just here. Yeah.
6 inches. So that's 4 invulns.
Yes, we're down to invuln saves here. So we passed none. So 4 Necron Warriors. They're taking a beating here at this early stage. 4 Necron Warriors can be removed from this unit. I've gone for bigger units, anticipating this kind of reckless hate against the Necrons here as these machines are being blasted to pieces here. Alright, so good shooting so far for the Red Scorpions. Okay, that's his firepower done. The other weapons, the configuration that Tom's gone for, the weapons that he has are out of range here. Flamer underneath the fist there, and the doesn't have the points for this one, and the range here on those just falling short. So no more firepower coming from that Dreadnought at this range. So Caleb Coln next.
Yep.
Okay.
So he gets 12 shots.
He's going after this unit down here as well.
Unit as well, yeah.
Okay.
He's 2s normally, so 3s for moving.
Okay. And re-rolling. It's all about the bubbles here. This is good. It's a full house of hits.
And then it's strength 6.
3s to wound.
And he's not within range of anyone to help with that.
Okay. So there's a number of failures, but 5 saves to make. These are at -6. Minus
-1.
-1. So we can go to a 4-up save, because we're on a 4-up save and +1 for cover, and then -1. So 4 pluses. We've made all. Oh, yeah. Interesting result there. Passed all of those. All right, so Necron's making use of the cover. That's protected them from those shots at least. There's a heavy bolter to fire now as well, which can do damage.
And then 3s. So just a 1.
All right, so 1 save to make here. We'll go for 4-up save as well. No. All right, so another Necron Warrior can be removed. All right, so we're on to Hellblasters now. Again, line of sight blocking terrain. 3 of those across there are in range and can see through to the Necron Warriors. Tom's going to fire those. His firepower's not finished yet. Dreadnoughts have made the initial strike here, but he does have infantry with decent weaponry that can support as well. But let the 2 or 3 Hellblasters fire next. The unit is able to get the rerolls to hit, so 3s.
Alright, so 3s. And yep.
Ability to reroll is very helpful. Oh.
And re-rolling ones because of my lieutenant.
Ah, yes.
Luckily. That didn't really help.
Okay, just the one.
Yep.
5+ invuln save. No, another Necron warrior can be removed. We're just keeping a track of the damage. 6 casualties taken now in this squad.
Turn.
All right, just scanning across the table here. Nothing else can fire. These are obscured. They can't see. There's terrain in the way. The lieutenant can't see. This squad's purposely moved behind cover so they can't see through. So that is firepower finished. So Necron's proving hard to locate here at this early stage, but Dreadnought's making a pretty impressive impact early on. So, not going to attempt any assaults. I don't think you can. There's nothing in range. All right, so turn 1's finished here. So we're going to go on to turn 1 now for the Necrons. We'll see what they decide to do. They've got Dreadnoughts advancing towards them here. And do they advance into that, or do they hold back, or do they fall back even? We'll have to see. We'll go on to turn 1 now for the Necrons as they prepare to respond to the Red Scorpion advance. Turn 1 for the Necrons next. Okay, so turn 1 here for the Necrons. We were going to hold back. We've gone for the all-out here with the Necrons. We're going to try and deliver a deadly blow here. If this doesn't pay off, the Necrons could be punished severely for this. So Tamun Ra, with his boldness here, has moved out aggressively to here, getting ready to charge here against Garib Kholn here on turn 1. Then Wave of Command, who granted it to the Triarch Praetorians. So +1 to their advance, which they haven't advanced. They've jumped 10. +1 to the charges, +1 to the hit rolls as well. The 10 of those have moved out. The Immortals here have moved across to lend some fire support. Played enhanced reanimation protocols, rerolling ones to try and reanimate some of the Necron warriors down here. We've got about 3 of them back, so that unit's still shot up pretty bad. But they've moved off down in this direction through the corridor. The Cryptek's jumped up to here, is in range to fire with his Staff of Light. The Monolith has turned up to lend some fire support at this crucial point. And then down here, Necron warriors, we've regained 3 of them, and they have remained in cover, anchoring this left-hand side. And the Wraiths, we've played adaptive subroutines with them. They're allowed to advance and charge. They've advanced 5 and moved 12, and they're poised potentially to charge into Leviathan Dreadnought down here. And then the Destroyers have moved around here, getting ready to lend some fire support against any number of these Dreadnoughts here. So Necrons have committed themselves here at this very early stage in the game, so we're going to see perhaps the battle decided quite early. I don't know, it's difficult to say, very difficult to say what's going to happen here. Tom's going to get his dice ready for 4+ invuln saves, and the Necron's getting ready to shoot. We're going to shooting phase next, no psychic phase here. Going to go into raw electrical firepower now from the Necrons. So we'll start down here. So 4 of these you can see through to Kholn just here. The rest, just because of the terrain, they can see the top of the Redemptor Dreadnought. So that'll be 8 shots. We'll do that one first. So we're just on straight 4s to hit. -1 for Raven Guard. Okay, 4s. 5s, strength 4, toughness 7. This is a pretty good start here. -1. So 4 saves of 4+. That's not bad there for the Necron warriors. Tom passes 2, but 2 wounds taken. We'll do 4 shots down to Kholn in 4s. And then we need 6s to wound his toughness 9. Close, but not enough. So no damage there. Next we'll fire the particle casters here into Kholn. 10 shots. We're on +1 to our hit rolls. So, and it's within, if you get within range 12, it's not -1 for Raven Guard. Okay, so 2s for hits with these. They've all hit. We're strength 6, so we'll need 5s to wound. Toughness 9. There's 3. And your save is 2+, no doubt?
Yep, 2+.
Okay. Shouldn't be a problem. No, passed. Gonna need a bigger cracker to crack this nut here. We'll go on to something else to shoot with next. Right, next is the Monolith. I've just had to adjust him. I was actually within 12 of Kholn here, so I've pushed him back a little bit. When you deep strike in, you're not allowed to be within 12 inches. It means you won't get our Mefrit Dynasty bonus, and because we're just over 12, it will be -1 to hit. So we'll fire the guaranteed 6 shots now from the Particle Whip, needing 4s. At Kholn, everything's going into him. So we're on average here. Strength 8, we're going to need 5s to wound. Do get 1, and it's -2.
So 4+ invuln.
Does he command reroll? This is D3 damage if it gets through.
D3.
Does he use the reroll at this stage?
You got any D6 damage or anything now?
No.
No, so D3 is probably the worst you're going to be able to do.
Yes.
Then I will. I'll use a command.
Okay, here it comes. 4+.
Nope.
No, D3 damage. We just rolled a 1.
And I ignore the damage on a 6. Oh.
That's a cocked dice, that's fine. I might command reroll this, but you can reroll that roll anyway for now.
Nope.
Okay, I'll command point reroll this one. So the damage is 2 instead, so you can try and block this one as well. Yeah.
Nope.
No, alright,
2
so
damage.
2 damage, finally. Some wounds come through. Gauze Flux Arcs next. 12 shots in total, needing 4s. That -1 is helpful for sure. Even -1 is very, very helpful. 5s to wound, strength 5. Yes, so 3 saves here. -2. So 4 pluses. Ooh. No rerolls available. 6s to ignore damage. Just 1 damage.
Just 1 damage?
Yep. There's 1 at least, but 2 wounds dropped to every wound counts. Necron's desperately trying to reduce these dreadnoughts down. 11 wounds remaining on both of these dreadnoughts now. Fire the Staff of Light next. He is within 12, so just be on 3s to hit. They all hit. Be on 5s to wound at strength 5. Nothing. 0. That's from the Cryptek just up here. Alright, so Necron Immortals next. 20 shots. They're all just within 12. So there won't be the -1 to hit. We're going after Coln again here. So 3s. God, there's a shocking number of misses here. Okay. And then strength 5, toughness 9. So we are on 5s to wound here. Yeah, it's all right. As 3 have got through after that volley.
Minus.
Oh no, within 12, actually -3.
So it's still 4+.
4+ invuln saves. Yeah.
1 through.
1 has got through. Gradually chipping away here at this mighty hero, but he's still very much alive.
Oh, do I ignore it? No.
No, all right, that's fine. Going to fire the Gauze Cannon now from Tamun Ra. So 2s to hit, moved, -1, so 3s. Strength 6, 5s to wound. 1 does get through. This is -4 for being within 12. There's an invuln save. That was D3 damage. That was a good roll made just there. Alright, so the Destroyers next. Necron firepower's not been as effective as I'd hoped it would be. Extermination protocols, though, the order's been given. So we're going to reroll hits and our wounds here against Coln. 9 shots coming in from the Destroyers. Now, if these fire well, there will be trouble. If they fail, then Coln looks like he's going to survive here. But we're going to go for 3s. We are within 12. I think so the -1 won't count.
Yep.
Yep, alright. So I'm going to reroll these misses. Now this is the crucial point. Wounds, strength 6, toughness 9, 5s to wound. Not bad. And now the reroll wounds. There's 2 more, that's alright, can't complain here. 5 have got through. There's potentially trouble here, 4+ invuln saves, because this is -4 on the AP and it's D3 damage. So if any point you need a good roll, it's at this point in the game. Oh no, it's not good. No. It's not good. We could see Coln being brought down here, potentially. There's 10 wounds left. The damage, remember 6 is to ignore, but here comes the damage here. That's pretty good. 6, 8, 9 wounds taken. 9 dice. God, the Destroyers, what a bane they are here. 6 is to ignore damage.
None.
None. Uh-oh.
Down to 1 wound.
He's down to 1 wound left here. This mighty hero is being short-circuited here by the Necron firepower. Alright, so rest of the shooting's resolved. We'll just fire these Necron warriors here across this dreadnought. Toughness 8, we struggled to get any wounds at all with that firepower. So these dreadnoughts are tough for sure. That's all the Necron firepower. They've done well against Coln here, reducing him down to 1 wound remaining, but we'll need to charge into close combat to try and finish him off. And then do we charge across here with the race? We should do. It will silence that dreadnought, but I doubt very much we're going to be able to take it out this turn. It's on 0 wounds, isn't it, this one?
Yeah, no wounds.
Yeah, no damage at all. Alright, so Necrons have committed themselves here. Is that folly? Or is it wisdom? We'll see. We'll go on to assaults, charges, and Overwatch next. Alright, charges and Overwatch taking place. Boy, have we got a fight on our hands here on turn 1. Necrons have gone all out aggression here. Going to try and neutralise as much as we can. This could be a terrible mistake here. The Necrons could be made to suffer here, or it may well pay off. There's Dreadnoughts to try and bring down Colin on 1 wound remaining. So Triarch Praetorians have charged. They took a casualty from Overwatch in total. We charged both of the Dreadnoughts, just going to try and silence them at least. So Dreadnought has been contacted. We've got piling moves as well. We rolled 7 for our charge, +1 for wave of commands. They've made it in, contacting Culm just there. Then the Wraiths made it in, taking 1 wound from Overwatch, and they have surrounded the Leviathan Dreadnought. Now they've surrounded that model, will not be able to back out. He's locked in combat until those Wraiths, until a gap opens up. And then Tamun Ra, just deciding what to do. We've gone, he's not the Warlord, so we've a bit more freedom with him. We've charged the Chapter Master here with him. So some epic showdowns to take place here, right on turn 1. It's all kicking off here, the early stages of the game. The idea is trying to remove this elite section of the Scorpion's army and then move up and engage the rest. That's the idea, but if this goes wrong and these Dreadnoughts are freed up, there will be trouble for the Necrons. We'll go now on to combat resolution. This is a critical point here at this very early stage in the battle. Alright, so difficult choices here to strike with first. We're going to leave Tamun Ra. He'll have to fend for himself for now, knowing that Tom may well interrupt play here with a stratagem. He's got a good number of... well, no stratagems left, have you? I mean, you've got a full amount left. Yeah, only used 1. Yeah, so plenty left. So we're going to put 21 attacks into Colin to try and reduce that 1 wound down. And then he'll fight anyway with only in death does duty end.
Yes.
Yes, alright. 2s to hit with wave of command. There's a heap of 1s.
Good.
Okay. Strength 5, toughness 9. 5s. I think we've seen the end of Mr. Colin here with that kind of dice roll. That's ridiculous. 10 saves of 4+. Oh dear. He's the pride and joy of this Red Scorpion army, but he's got 10 invuln saves to make here.
What are they minus?
-3. You can do... yeah, 1 at a time. Passes the first one. This is impossible. Another one. Oh, come on. Is it worth a command reroll? I highly doubt it, but if you think you can pass 7...
I'll see how I go with the rest. Can I do that before I...
oh, yeah, yes. Yeah, roll a whole lot, yeah. No. That's that one. Alright, you may as well just roll the rest then.
I do get to see where I ignore these, remember, as well.
Oh, yes.
I'm not going to roll 3 6s.
Yeah, so it's respectable dice roll come through. That's a 4, that's fine.
Okay, so 3.
Triple 6.
He's going to die. He's going to die anyway. So I'll save the reroll.
Oh, close. No, almost.
So, does he blow up, first of all?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he does. Oh, you're going to love this. You're going to love it.
Right. So, a load of mortal wounds to distribute here. We'll figure out what's going on and how much damage is done. But we've seen a detonation take place. Colin is going out in style. So, he has detonated. We've left the model warriors because he's going to fight. 1 mortal wound caused here. 2 mortal wounds caused here against the Dreadnought. One of the Hellblasters was destroyed. Tom rolled a 2, so he didn't get to shoot. 1 wound on the Chapter Master, 1 wound on Tamun Ra. One of the Wraiths has gone, 3 mortal wounds dealt out on that. 3 mortal wounds dealt out on the Leviathan Dreadnought as well. Destroyers were just out of range. It's range 9 of the detonation. 3 Necron Warriors brought down by this explosion here. 3 Immortals brought down also. So horrific damage being done here. Detonation. The dead centre of the table is there. So right in the heart of the table, Carib Colin here has exploded, taking a load of Necrons with him. Now he's going to play only in death does duty end. He's going to fight here against these Triarch Praetorians. So away you go.
So I'm needing 4s.
Yes, because the damage bracket he was in.
The damage bracket, but I'm rerolling everything still because I'm in range. So that's all of them.
Alright, so Tom's rolled a 6 here. That is Death Hold. He can fire his heavy bolter at point blank range, causing D6 mortal wounds. That's horrific rules here. So you're going to roll that mortal wounds now?
Yep.
Okay, this could be horrible. That's enough to kill, take him off his last wound, and then reduce another one down. So. And
then I get to attack as well with that one still?
Yes.
And then it's 2s because I'm strength 18.
Okay. So your weapon skill's unaffected by your damage?
No, I was hitting on 4s.
Oh, hitting on 4s?
Yeah,
okay.
I was hitting on 4s. That's my...
oh, that's the hits. Wounds come through.
Yeah.
And the minus?
-4.
So that's it?
4 damage each. So 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. All
of them except 2 there. We've just been hurt very badly here by Carib Khan. So he could be removed from play, but he's dragged a load of Necrons with him. What a way to go. What a way to go. So Khan's gone, but it's cost the Necrons dearly here. These 2 that are alive are still to fight here against the Dreadnought. That's 6 attacks. We'll resolve this now. 2's to hit. They've all hit. 5's to wound. Just the 1, -3. So save a 6+. No, so just a wound taken. Drops down to 8 wounds now. Here, still we'll be fighting at full effect. So at this stage, it's meant to be charges fighting, but Tom will interrupt here with the chapter master. So, Sabius. Okay, so he's pretty good actually against vehicles here. Tamun Ra may well find himself in trouble. The idea is to try and survive here and then try and take Sabius on if we can. So, 5 attacks coming in here, needing 2+ to hit.
You roll it.
So he'll get his hits here, yes.
Because I have the blade of the Scorpion, it's double strength against vehicles. So it's strength 8.
3's to wound them. Just 1 hasn't gone through, but that's a very good result. Yeah. Tom's going to command reroll this, wants to get as many hits as possible. No, hasn't gone through. Okay. So, command points total, both on 3 left each. We're big spenders here, burning through these quite quickly, but can't help it, the game's gone crazy on turn 1. So I have 4 invuln saves to make here, first of all. That's terrible. So we'll just hold it there. I might want to do a reroll here as well. 1's got through. Yeah, I've got a plan, so I'm not going to do a reroll here. But 5 wounds taken. That's a nasty blow coming through. Tamun Ra's down to 2 wounds left. Gravely wounded here at this stage, but he has survived. The interruption's taken place. Tamun Ra's taken horrific damage, but he still remains available to fight. Okay, so we remembered quantum shielding, and I've rolled for that and failed. I needed to roll a 1 or a 2, which I failed, and then needed to roll 1 to try and get under the damage that was scored. The D3 is quite good for getting past quantum shielding, so we still stick with our 5 damage that came through. We're going to fight back here, so just going through our charges. We're back to normal now. So Entropic Strike I'm going to play on Tamun Ra. I get 3 attacks needing 2s. This is why I've been keeping my reroll on standby. I want these attacks to get through here. So we've got the hits. Now with 3's to wound, strength 7. 2 wounds to get through, and this is where I need the 3+ here to make this work. Yes, right, so we're on -4. What's his armour save?
6+ saves, 2+ normally.
Is he? Right, he's going to get 6s. You're going to need a 6 here, otherwise it will be 6 damage in total that comes through. So the chapter master is gone here. Tamun Ra has had the final say here in this fight, but he's exposed. He may well be shot to pieces, but
He will be shot to pieces.
okay. So, what epic things taking place here. Still got this fight to go. Wraiths next against the Leviathan Dreadnought. Okay, so we're going to put 12 attacks into the Dreadnought here. We did lose one of the Wraiths because of the exploding Dreadnought there, but 3's for hits. Dice is cut. Oh, it's rolled over. It's a 5. I didn't touch it, so we'll keep it there. 3's here. A lot of missed. 5's to strength 6, toughness 8. 5's and 6's. That's pretty good. We're on -2.
4+.
So 4+. Passes 2. Alright, so you're going to survive no problem. 2 damage a time, so 4 wounds taken in total, dropping to 7 left there on the Leviathan Dreadnought. So now Tom can fight back with both of these Dreadnoughts here. So this one is pretty nasty in combat. It may actually be able to finish the Praetorians off. Now it's interesting here, if you do finish them off, you're freed up to shoot and charge next turn.
Yeah, -4.
It is -4, and the damage?
D6.
D6, right. Don't want a 1 here. No pressure. So one D6 first of all to take out the...
What I'm going to do first of all is re-roll that 1 to wound.
Yes.
So that's 3.
Okay. So you should wipe these out the first roll. He's dead, and the next one, he's gone. That's it, you've done it. Okay, so those can be removed. You can make a consolidation move towards Tamun Ra, would be the closest model if you wish, or you can remain stationary. But all of a sudden, one of these Dreadnoughts has been freed up. That is a good result here for the Red Scorpions. Okay, 2 attacks from the Dreadnought across here. He's not that great. He's armed, ready for firepower, not for close combat. He's got 2 hits, though.
Strength 8.
3's to wound.
1 wound. No minuses.
So 3+ invuln save, which we pass. Alright, so situation then. Tamun Ra has slain the Chapter Master. Carib Khan has been removed as well. But it's cost the Necrons dearly. They have taken a lot of casualties. They've lost the Triarch Praetorians. That's 320 points gone, and no chance of any reanimation protocols. A Dreadnought here has been freed up. That is a significant result there. One of the heavy units now free to fire and potentially charge. Wraiths have this Leviathan Dreadnought locked down in close combat. So both sides have taken damage here, and so it's paid off to some degree for the Necrons, but still there is a large force of Red Scorpions here, and still plenty of heavy firepower available for them, plenty of infantry, and the game is not over yet. But we've seen so much take place here, especially on Necron turn 1. An epic fight taking place here at this early stage in the game, but this battle is still unresolved. We'll end the turn here. There's some morale. We'll ignore morale here because of the Cryptek for his immortal pride. Necrons may need to take time to regroup here. Will the Red Scorpions let them do that? We'll see. We'll go on to turn 2 now for the Red Scorpions in this epic clash. Alright, so we're on turn 2 now. Feels like we're on turn 4. We're on turn 2 for the Red Scorpions. So there is optimism for them here. Their infantry are pretty much intact. Other than the Chapter Master and one of the Hellblasters, but other than that, the infantry in great shape here, ready to move out. There's decent firepower from them. They're able to deal with the infantry, the Necrons, no problem. And the Hellblasters, 9 of them left. So some firepower potentially from them against the heavier targets. Monolith may prove trouble, but definitely the Red Scorpions well equipped. Then down here, there's a Dreadnought that needs to be rescued. Locked in combat here against the Wraiths. Tamun Ra is still alive, but he's only on 2 wounds, and he'll probably be slain in shooting or in close combat. But decisions to make. We're saying as far as the battle's going, damage is about even on both sides. But tactically, the Necrons are holding these objectives, so still the pressure is on the Red Scorpions here to deal with the Necron assault, and then to push through and flush the Necrons out from this area as well. So we will go on to movement phase now, see what Tom decides to do here on turn 2. Alright, so we are on turn 2 now. Movement has been complete here for the Red Scorpions. The Redemptor Dreadnought, with its 8 wounds remaining, has moved off in this direction. Can try and take on the Necron warriors and potentially the destroyers there as well. That's for shooting and for close combat. Then the combat goes on against the Wraiths. It can't get past the models. You have to leave an inch gap between models there, so the Leviathan Dreadnought is stuck at the moment. Hellblasters have moved out. Multiple options for them. There's Tamun Ra to finish off. There's Immortals to fire at here, and there's the Monolith to try and deal with its 20 wounds as well. Now that we know where the Monolith is, the Intercessors have begun to move across. One of those units will need to remain, or a unit somewhere will need to remain behind to hold on to that objective there at the back. Then at Severin Loft, the Psycho's moved out as well. May well be able to use his power, Null Zone there, to remove the invuln save of both Tamun Ra and the Wraiths. So a strong fire base here. There's also an Intercessor squad has moved down in this direction, trying to scoot around to this side. The game's still on. I think the Red Scorpions have a chance to get ahead here. If the turn goes well for them, and they're able to remove some more key Necron units, particularly down here, and deal out some damage in this direction, Necrons will find themselves on the back foot. But still, they are in position to hold on to 2 objectives at this stage. So we'll go on to Psychic Phase next for the Red Scorpions on turn 2. Okay, Psychic Phase finished. Smite was used first of all, and Tamun Ra was brought down. We've left the model where it is. There's a chance perhaps to resurrect him. If we do, and the stratagem pays off, it'll only be 1 wound restored, so just thinking whether it's worth doing or not. Then Tom used a reroll there to cause 2 mortal wounds. He only caused 1 initially, needing the 2, so that can actually be removed. But the reroll was used up. He then rolled up for Null Zone, rolled a double 1, and then took 3 mortal wounds on Loft, so he's taken some nasty damage from that. But that Psychic Phase finished. We'll forget about what's happened there. Move on rapidly here to the Shooting Phase next, so what kind of damage the Scorpions can do now. Okay, so turn 2. We've resolved the shooting here. Some very, very difficult choices to make here for the Red Scorpions. Fire down here with the Dreadnought just caused 1 casualty here against the Necron Warriors, 4 of them left. What Tom's been trying to do is reduce units down and wipe them out. It's proved difficult. The Immortals are still alive. They've taken 3 casualties. That was firepower coming in from the Intercessors here. Some shots coming in from some of the Hellblasters that could see. But still 4 of the Immortals remain alive. Then down here, the Destroyers were destroyed. They're gone. That was firepower from the Hellblasters across here. Deadly coming through from them. And also the main gun here on the Redemptor Dreadnought as well. Then some bolted fire across here has helped to reduce some of the Immortals down. So that's Shooting Phase finished. Necrons looking a bit thin on the ground here, but there is that danger of the reanimation protocols for them. Monolith's untouched, still with its full complement of wounds. So the Necrons, we're going to say it again, in multiple games of them, when they look like they're down and out of a game, it's the dangerous point to be playing against them, because they have a habit of resurging towards the end of the game, or the mid stage of the game. And this is the point where we're at here. Necrons looking thin on the ground, but they could resurge and rebuild their strength. I think Tom's aware of that, trying to wipe out as many units as possible. So now we're on to combats next. Charges. Where should he go with the Dreadnought? Does he try and finish off the Necron Warriors, or go into the Wraiths to try and free up the Leviathan Dreadnought that's been pinned down in close combat? And does he charge in here with his infantry as well to try and rescue this Dreadnought? If that Dreadnought gets freed up and that firepower becomes available, that may well prove very helpful here for the Red Scorpions. Difficult choices to make here. The game hangs in the balance at this point. We'll go on to charges and Overwatch next. Alright, so charges have taken place here. No Overwatch with the Wraiths with no shooting weapons and already in combat. Intercessor squad has gone in. Loth the Psyker has gone into combat as well, and so is this Dreadnought. Tom wants to prioritise trying to remove the Wraiths if he can. So try and deal with those, and then regroup to take on the rest of the Necron force. It's left these Necron Warriors alone here. They'll be able to reanimate potentially, and even 4+ on Necron turn 2. But for now, our attention is shifted over to the Wraiths. Can they survive is the question. We'll see if they can weather the incoming storm from the Red Scorpions. We're going to combat resolution next. Right, so in combats here, just to mention Tamun Ra, I removed him from play. We did have the opportunity earlier on to pay a command point to get him to potentially on a 4+ to get back up again. Decided against it. I've saved my 2 remaining command points left for other stratagems. Just thought it wasn't any point of the amount of firepower that could just bring one wound down. So Tamun Ra has gone, but Tom is going to attack first with one of the charges. It's the Dreadnought, so I'm going to try and get through the invuln save of these Wraiths here. 4 attacks, in 3s, it's a good start. Tom has no command points left, so we're down to pure dice rolling here. The wounds come through. This is a very good result. So 3 pluses. I'll roll these one at a time just to infuriate you here. Oh, plus. Okay. I'll roll the others here. We may need to use one of our command rerolls here. The last one. Oh, that's fine. No, that knocked that one over. So it's a triple fail. This is bad. This is extremely bad. I'm going to have to use a command reroll here. And I think. Just think. Yeah, I'm going to leave it. You may think it's madness to not reroll one of those 3+ invulns, but I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to leave it here. I'm not going to reroll any of those. We'll let the results stand. So now it's down to damage. So Tom can roll one at a time here. The first one of the Wraiths is lost a wound already, so 1 or a 2 to kill it. That's just enough. So first model. 3 or more on the next one. Gets his 3, and now it's done it. All right, fist pumping. This is a good result. 1 Wraith left. The Dreadnought here, what a great move that was, charging me, and he's brought down 3 Wraiths. An epic result there for the Red Scorpions. Okay, so 1 Wraith left. The race is on to try and kill the last Wraith. It would be a great result for the Red Scorpions if he can be removed, because he left 2 Dreadnoughts freed up, and these infantry as well, and that'll be trouble for the Necrons. So can the Wraith survive? The game could pivot on this here, what's about to take place. So this is Loth attacking.
2s. Okay.
They're all hit.
So he's got the axe, so he's 6s. He's strength 6.
So 3s to wound.
2.
This is good.
-3. Well, that's 3+ invuln anyway.
3+ invuln save. I picked up one of your dice there. I rolled my trusty Tau dice that never fail. D3 damage?
Yeah.
I need to roll the other one first of all. Oh, passes, right. Okay. So I'm trying to be sneaky. I've got 2 command points left. Some Necron players may know what I'm planning to do potentially. So I will... No, I think it's beyond me now. It's just difficult. Yeah, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. D3 damage. 5+ then to wipe out your target. 2 wounds caused. At 1 wound left. Wraith still remains alive, but the intercessors are probably going to be able to finish it off. Okay, 1 wound required is all that's needed here. This is the attacks coming in from the intercessors, needing 3s. Strength 4, toughness 5. You'll actually need 5s to wound. Just looking for us to fail 1 save. That's an excellent result. Okay. We'll roll your own dice. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Just to torment you. No! Roll the other 2. I need to roll the other 2 first of all. They all pass. So I could command reroll this one to keep the last Wraith alive. I think we will. We've blown our chance here of what I was planning to do. So command reroll, 3+. Just about right. So 1 Wraith, 1 wound left, remains alive. I was planning to play repair subroutines. I would have got reanimation on that unit there to try and resurrect them, but I don't have enough command points to do it. So 1 command point remains, 1 Wraith remains alive, and hold it right there. The Dreadnought is still available to attack. So
he's wounded, so he's hitting on 3s.
Okay.
Wounded on 3s. 1 normal save.
Okay. 3+. I just got a bad feeling. Oh, just about. All right. And what damage would that have been if it had got through?
1.
Just 1. All right. Okay. So that's that combat's there. Just the Wraith attacking now. Keeping him alive, I can go after Loth. I'm going to try and take him out here. 3 pluses. We strike here with 2. It's 3s to wound. 2 wounds do get through, and it is -2s. 2 saves here required.
Yep. 2
invuln saves.
Yep.
Good rolly here. All right, so Loth remains alive. That is a good result. It's not the best possible outcome, but is a good result here for the Red Scorpions. Okay, so that's combat's resolved. The Wraiths surrounded now. The Wraiths were surrounding the Dreadnought, and now the Red Scorpions are surrounding the last remaining Wraith. But what a great result there for the Red Scorpions. That's definitely put them ahead as far as the battle's going. They're winning it from that point of view, but still tactically they need to claim objectives. This one here, if they can clear the Necrons out of the way, that'll even the game up, and it'll go down to First Blood, Linebreaker, and Slay the Warlord. And then down... Who was your Warlord, by the way? Colin?
No, Kassan Sabius.
Okay, so we have picked up a point for that. So I think, yeah, I think the Red Scorpions are going to need to push on to the third objective, which is just in here next to the monolith. Difficult here. We'll go on to, it's the end of the turn, so we'll go on to Necron turn 2. We've got a fair bit of reanimation protocols to do to try and recover this army here as time ticks away. The pressure's on the Necrons to reassemble themselves and to resist the Red Scorpion onslaught. Turn 2 for the Necrons next. Okay, so movement for the Necrons here on turn 2. The army has shrunk in size. Necrons do need to be careful. We've tried to react in a way to try and preserve our numbers here, so we're making use of the line of sight blocking terrain just to limit the potential damage that can come through. So we've recovered some Necron warriors. 4 Necron warriors recovered here. None from this squad. A good result for the Immortals, though. We're back up to a squad of 9 of them, so they've virtually been recovered. The +1 to reanimation really helping out there from the Cryptex. Monolith's held position. He's nicely in range of multiple targets. The Wraith has moved. We're going to take a risk here. It's jumped out. We'll be able to assault. We're going to go after the man with the banner, try and take him down. I doubt it's going to pay off here, but it's a better option than remaining in combat against that lot. And it means that the Necrons can fire into the Dreadnoughts here with their firepower. No psychic phase, so we'll go on to shooting phase next. The Necrons need a good result here, otherwise they may find themselves being exterminated from this sector. Okay, shooting phase finished here. So the main aim is to preserve the Necron lines. Firepower's not been as deadly. We fired off in this direction with some of the Immortals, and the Necron warriors also fired across here against the Hellblasters. We've caused no damage against these squads. Down here we picked up some wounds against the Dreadnought, and then we finished it off with the Monolith. We offloaded all that we had into the Redemptor Dreadnought, and he's gone, destroyed. Didn't explode, the wreck is just there. It's just there for visual purposes. Tom can ignore that for line of sight and for movement. But just trying to reduce the threats down that the Red Scorpions have. We thought it would be a good idea just to entirely remove the Dreadnought if possible. We've done that. But 7 wounds do remain on the Leviathan Dreadnought just here. That shooting phase finished. Not too bad for the Necrons here. The aim is survival. We're only on turn 2 here. And the Necrons have time on their side to try and repair and recuperate and build up their forces in strength. So we'll go on to assaults now. We have the lone Wraith preparing to charge. Okay, so combat's resolved here. The Wraith's been slain, but not before he dealt out 4 wounds on the banner just there. So almost killed him. Got 3 hits, 3 wounds, but Tom passed one of his saves, and so 4 damage in total. So no Necrons here now. Their assault has officially finished. Red Scorpions now have no Necrons in this area to deal with. It's all about trying to take on the Necron gun line. That's really what remains to the Necrons, being supported by the Necron Monolith. We'll go now on to the third turn next for the Red Scorpions. So it's back to aggression again. You're going to need to be aggressive here to move out and try and flush the Necrons out. If Tom's able to do that, he'll win the game. If the Necrons resist and hold on to these objectives, then potentially the Necrons will have victory. The game is still undecided here at this stage. We have no idea who's going to win this one, but that makes for a good game of 40k with 2 sides virtually neck and neck here at this stage. We'll go on to the third turn now as we move into the mid stage of the game for the Red Scorpions. So movement here, no pressure, but this is the debut for the Red Scorpions on the channel, so we'll see if they can do well. But Tom does have this deadly Dreadnought, which may well move into the alleyway here to fire up into the Necron lines. He's got 7 wounds left. So you're -1 on your ballistic skill, would it be?
Hitting on 4s now.
Okay.
It's 3. He'll be on 3s normally, but they're heavy.
Right, okay. And he's got plenty of infantry to call upon. And then the Hellblasters in good shape as well. There's 9 of them left from that squad. Right, so movement done. There's a lot of red Scorpions in the area here. Squads beginning to converge together. Intercessors at the front. Hellblasters here. Lieutenants and the banner moving up as well. This squad's anchoring at the objective so that their job is complete. Swinging around onto this objective now. It's 6 points each for objectives. The game could go down to the smaller point values of First Blood, Slay the Warlord and Linebreaker. So it's just interesting here. I think it's going to be a tight game, this one. Intercessors have moved on top to pour firepower down in this direction. Dreadnought swung around. We've removed the destroyed Redemptor from play just to make room for the Leviathan moving through. And the Psychic Loft has moved up just behind. That's movement done. Psychic phase next. All right, Psychic phase done. Yeah, Loft's gone. Perilled again, double 6 and removed from play. The mortal wounds come through his brain fried here at the immensity of the battle taking place and the pressure of the Necrons. So he's out for the count, but he did cast Might of Heroes on the Dreadnought. So that's Psychic phase done, and that'll be the last Psychic phase we have in this game with Loft out for the count. So I could try and deny your power as well, actually. I'll just see what I roll up here. 7, I don't think that's enough.
No.
It wasn't enough, all right.
I rolled 12.
Oh, yes, of course you did. Oh, yes, sorry, you rolled a 12. Okay, we're all having a brain meltdown here at the moment. All right, so we'll recover. We'll go on to shooting phase for the Red Scorpions next. Okay, so shooting phase resolved here. The Dreadnought firing down the corridor here, along with support from the Intercessor, Primaris Marines, have reduced the Immortals down. There's just 3 of them left, so taking 6 casualties, deadly casualties. Just to mention, I've been ignoring morale at the moment because of the Crypt Tech nearby. He ignores, helps units within 6 inches ignore morale. 3 casualties taken here. That's firepower coming in from the Intercessor Marines. The Hellblasters fired, and thanks to a couple of reroll 1s for wounds, of course 10 wounds here against the Monolith, so massive trouble now for the Monolith. It's half destroyed with that deadly firepower coming through, so something needs to be done about those Hellblasters. They are deadly, and the Dreadnought hacking down the Necrons as well. Pressure on the Necrons now. Their army's shrinking fast, and we're not reanimating quick enough here to try. And also there's repairs still on the vehicle as well, so pressure on the Necrons. They're going to try and hold on to this sector, but our Red Scorpions, aggressive play from them, and their firepower is reaping a deadly harvest. We'll go on to charges next. Yes, there's potential charges to take place. This could win the game, I think, for the Red Scorpions here. A charge down here, 7 inches. A charge across here, it's 8 or 9 inches. We'll double check. If these go ahead and the Necron gun line is silenced in close combat, the Necrons will be in massive trouble. We'll go on to charges and Overwatch next. Yeah, excellent result here for the Red Scorpions. It's going well for them. They've made it into combat with this Intercessor squad. One of them was brought down with a rapid-fire Mephrit Dynasty Overwatch from the Necron Warriors, and then 0 casualties here from this Necron Warrior squad. So we'll resolve these combats, but it means that these 2 Necron units, they're not going to be wiped out, but they're going to have to pull back and not be allowed to shoot, and Necrons will lose a lot of their firepower. That's the crucial result here that Tom was looking for. So good result for him at this stage. The Red Scorpions, this aggressive play, now all of a sudden Necron objectives under threat here. So this is going well. We'll get these combats resolved next. Okay, combats resolved. We took some casualties on both of our squads, and we caused a wound on this Intercessor squad here. Scorpions prevailing in combat, but it's the locking down of the Necron Warriors in close combat that's the key result. The turn is finished, so Scorpions pushing in from 2 sides here, trying to converge on the Necron objective. It's just there at the corner of the Necron Monolith. The other one's at the back here, not being held by Necrons at this stage. Then the Red Scorpions have now secured this one, and this one here. So the game's roughly evens at this stage, but Red Scorpion's the stronger force at this point. But Necrons can reanimate with 3 units, still 3 units available to reanimate. There's morale, none again. The Crypt Tech granting the ignore morale for units within 6 inches. The Monolith's half destroyed. We can try and repair some of the damage. Time's ticking away for the Monolith here. We'll go on to the 3rd turn next. For the Necrons, they need to reanimate, buy some time, recover these units, pull out of combat and try and deal with the immediate threats. That's these Intercessor Marines closing in, the Dreadnought as well, the Hellblasters, all of these threats stacking up here against this Necron force. We'll go on to their 3rd turn next. Alright, so movement done for the Necrons here. It's been a good return of recovery from them. 3 wounds restored. That was with the help of the Cryptek there. The one with the cloak's able to grant D3 recovery for living metal. So Monolith's back on 13, keeping him out of the damage bracket. Necron Warriors have pulled back and reanimated 4 of them. Immortals, a good reanimation roll from them as well. There's now 7 of those. They'll be available to fire down this corridor here. Both the Crypteks ready with their Staff of Light to fire in this direction. Necron Warriors across here have remained in close combat, so they're going to try and lock down the Red Scorpions in this squad. And the Monolith's free to fire. So the plan is to try and sort of deal with 1 unit at a time. This is a threat here, and so is this Dreadnought. Hellblasters as well a priority. We'll see how effective the Necron firepower is as we go on to their 3rd turn of shooting. Okay, so shooting phase resolved here. We fired with the Necron Immortals, the 2 Crypteks with their Staff of Lights. Still, the Primaris Marines remained alive, so we ended up firing the Gauze Flux Arcs at them, finishing them off. So that's that Intercessor squad gone. Then we fired the Particle Whip across, but double 6 rolled for 2 invuln saves. 0 damage there against the Leviathan Dreadnought. Very, very tough. It's on toughness 9 after the Psychic phase. The Might of Heroes being played on that. And then Tom passing 2 invuln saves. So 7 wounds remain. There's still a nasty unit that remains there. But 1 unit eliminated. One of the Intercessor squads gone. So at the moment it's a race between trying to eliminate Necron units, and then the Necrons reanimating, and then the Scorpions' losses at the same time. Units being removed, models being slain. But not too bad for the Necrons. We'll go on to combat resolution. Still this melee here to resolve as these 2 units fight against each other. Alright, so combat's resolved here. We did no damage there against the Primaris Marines, and we lost 3 casualties on the Necron Warriors. Again, no morale, it's not a problem for them, but more of the number being dropped. That's the end of the turn. We'll go on to the 4th turn now. Starting to move into the later stages of the game. So the pressure's still on for the Red Scorpions to advance. Can they clear the Necrons off that objective is the question. It is a difficult task, but units closing in. This Dreadnought's still very much alive. Firepower, deadly firepower still available from the Hellblasters as well. If the Monolith disappears, that'll rip a chunk out of this Necron army. But the gun line's proven difficult to deal with here. But we'll see. There's still plenty of fight left for both armies. We'll go now on to the movement phase for the Red Scorpions on turn 4. Okay, so movement done. Red Scorpion units continuing their advance in this area, so well and truly onto this objective. Lieutenant here, banner at the back, 2nd Lieutenant here. This squad's continuing on in close combat, and then here the Dreadnought shifted over just here. Not really cut out for combat, so he'll sit there and blast away with his firepower, and then the other unit of Intercessors happily camping out on the objective at the back. We'll go on to shooting phase next. No psychic phase. We'll go on to shooting phase, see what damage the Red Scorpions can do. The crucial point of firepower will be these Hellblasters. Some of them now are in rapid fire range against the Monolith. So we're on shooting phase here. We're going to kick off this one. I'm going to film this one. It's quite important. You're going to need 7 successes. Would deal out 14 wounds to destroy this thing. This is what we're looking for. We should be able to do it. So we're going to roll these in pairs because of the slain models rule here. So the first one is fine, 1 hit and a miss. Second one, 2 misses. The third, not all of these are rapid fire. One of the models is slain, and then the other one gets 2 hits. So on 4 hits in total. The rest will fire needing 3s and just 1 shot each, which is 5 of them. There's another slain model and 3 more hits. We'll just work out. The question we have is, are they allowed to shoot now they've been slain because of the banner? So we've resolved it here. Removed the 2 models, and Tom has been rolling up 3 pluses. They both got to shoot. One of them was in rapid fire, one wasn't. Got 2 more hits out of that. But 2 of those models gone. And now we have a heap of dice. Got enough there to kill this thing. I think you've done it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then re-roll the 1.
Oh no, please, that's gone off the table. 4 plus, no pressure. Oh dear, Monolith survived. Oh dear, right, okay. We'll give Tom a few minutes just to bang his head off the wall here, and then we'll carry on the rest of the turn. The Monolith survived. I think it's 1 wound left. You've caused 6, yeah, one wound remains on the Monolith. All right, so just before we move on, all is not lost. Tom is now going to fire other units to try and pick off the last wound from the monolith. Sorry. So, Lieutenant, first of all.
Hit on 2s.
Okay. 5s for a wound.
Nope.
No. Here we go. The banner. 2 hits. That's fine, yeah. Right. Is that 2 wounds?
Yes. Yeah.
Strength.
Oh,
might just be 1 wound.
just 1 your toughness 8.
And is that a bolt rifle?
It's the -1.
Or is it the auto bolt rifle? I think it might be the -1, in which case we'll be on a 4+ to try and keep this thing alive. Okay, 4+ then to keep this thing alive. No worries. Blast. My last command point. Sorry. Sorry, okay. Monolith's still alive here. Smoke belching from this thing, but still there's some electrical power remains in this hulking toaster. Alright, all is not lost. There's hope still with the Leviathan Dreadnought. One of the heavy guns, what are they called, these heavy?
The Storm Cannon Array.
Storm Cannon Array. One of them is going to go into the monolith, 10 shots. Another 10 shots into here and 2 heavy flamer dice rolls as well.
So I'll do the monolith first.
Here we go. This is the last chance for the monolith to try and survive. It should be destroyed here. It's not too impressive a dice roll here.
That's not good at all.
There's a whole load of 1s and 2s. You haven't seen this on camera here, but Tom's been plagued by 1s and 2s in this game. Is that anything that's come through?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Oh, the monolith lives here. Unbelievable. Okay.
Flamers.
Heavy flames. 2 automatic. 6 into the warriors. These are heavy flamers?
Yeah.
So 3s to wound.
3. -1.
5s to stay alive. We keep 1 alive, but 2 slain. So we'll remove these front 2. And 10 shots here from the array here, firing through. It's better dice rolling here.
3s. -2.
-2. So we'll go down to our Invon save. These Necron warriors still alive here. Yeah, 2 more casualties taken, but healthy enough for this squad. Basically killing models that have been reanimated here. Alright, so that's the firepower from the Dreadnought. Difficult here, difficult situation. Monolith has remained alive and 1 wound remaining, and it will start to repair itself again. But severely damaged, it will be severely knocked down. Its firepower will not be as effective. So that's it. Shooting phase resolved then. Monolith still remains alive infuriatingly here for Tom and for the Red Scorpions. So what we'll do now is go on to charges and Overwatch next. I'm not sure how many he's going to want to charge in here. Perhaps Lieutenant's going to join into the combat. We'll see what Tom decides to do in this pressure situation here against the Necrons. We'll go on to charges and Overwatch next. Alright, so charges have taken place. He's gone ultimate aggressive here. The Hellblasters have charged in. The aim is to try and bring these Necron warriors down with the help of Lieutenant. A lot of attacks here of Primaris Marines. This whole squad's gone in, but Tom's going to try and string them out just to keep that 6-inch bonus there. So, a big combat. The aim's to try and reduce this squad and eliminate them if possible. We'll get combats resolved next. Okay, so combat's resolved. This Necron squad's been severely hammered, just the sheer volume of attacks here. There's 4 of them left, so I'll still be able to have a chance of reanimating here. We caused no damage in return. So that is the end of turn 4 for the Red Scorpions. Still, the game is close to call. This monolith, it's still quite a presence on the table, but it's just 1 wound. It's a bit of a phantom unit, really. It can easily be picked off on the next Red Scorpion turn. And it's just these units down here. 2 Cryptechs, Necron Immortals, Necron Warriors, and this squad locked down in combat is really the resources that the Necrons have. Is it enough? There's still a deadly Leviathan Dreadnought nearby, and plenty of Red Scorpion Marines as well. We'll go on to turn 4 for the Necrons. Again, they need to recover and try and deal with this assault taking place. We'll go on to turn 4 for the Necrons next. Okay, so movement done here for the Necrons. Recovering some models, just put them at the top here and they'll pile in a bit later into that combat. Remained in combat there against those Primaris Marines. Monolith's just recovered a wound. Here, Living Metal, we didn't roll high enough. So 2 wounds now on this Monolith. Be on 5s to hit with its shooting. The Immortals here, there's now 8 of those. And then the Necron Warriors, a couple recovered, but not too many. Not a decent roll from them. That's movement done. Just still holding this position. Remember, the objective's just here, and also an objective across here to capture for the Necrons as well. We'll go on to their shooting phase next on turn 4 for the Necrons. All right, shooting phase finished, not too deadly. All of our firepower we had available. That's one Cryptek here, Immortals, Necron Warriors. All the Monolith had fired at the Leviathan Dreadnought. So tough. The invuln save helping it out. 4 wounds remain now. It's lost 3 wounds. This turns down to 4. So that's shooting phase finished. We'll go into combats now. It's just a continuation of this melee. The idea is to try and stay alive this round to continue to lock down all of these units. Just here. We'll see. We'll go into combat resolution next. Alright, so combat's resolved here. We lost a couple of Necron Warriors. Lieutenant brought down 1. Regular Intercessors combined with the Hellblasters brought down another. But we caused 3 wounds. One of the Hellblasters removed and a wound put on another one of those models. So sort of just grinding away at each other here. Necrons being locked down and locking down in return. And then still these Necron units proving a menace down here. Hidden away in this corridor. We'll go on to turn 5 now for the Red Scorpions. We could be seeing the end of the game coming up soon, so even more pressure on the Red Scorpions here. We'll see what they decide to do. I think they still need to go after this objective around here. The Monolith, as I said earlier, a bit of a phantom unit, just 2 wounds left that could easily be brought down. Once that's removed from play, it's just the Necron infantry that remains. But we'll see. We'll go on to turn 5 now for the Red Scorpions. Okay, so movement complete here for the Red Scorpions on turn 5. Getting towards the end of the game here. Tom has elected to stay in combat. He does have these pistols that be able to fire. There's 1, 2, 6 Necron Warriors, 7 Necron Warriors to try and bring down. With pistol fight and then potentially in close combat as well. It's doable, so he's elected to stay in combat. There's a Lieutenant still there, Intercessor Marines and the Hellblasters. The Band and the Lieutenant have moved up. Then across here is going to rely on the firepower of the Dreadnought to fire through, try and reduce one of these squads down and get the wipeout here, or possibly try and destroy, take off the last 2 wounds on the Monolith. We'll go on to shooting phase next for the Red Scorpions on turn 5. Alright, so shooting phase finished, and we're actually starting to pack the game up because we've had a little bit of an explosion take place here. Yeah, it looks bad. It is bad. The Dreadnought, Leviathan Dreadnought firing through. 2 wounds came through. I saved one of them. I thought that was enough, but it was actually 2 damage, so the Monolith was destroyed. I then rolled the 6. And this is after 4 or 5 of my warriors are brought down by pistol fire. Just one of them left in that squad. But Monolith rolled a 6. I'd used up my last command point, so I couldn't re-roll it. Had to stick with the 6. The 3 Necron Immortals that were left after the rest of the firepower from the Dreadnought, they were destroyed. It was D6 mortal wounds caused. So they were destroyed in the explosion. The Warlord of Cryptek destroyed in the explosion as well. Rolled a 6 for the damage on him. I think it was a 6 rolled for the damage on the other Cryptek. He's gone. Necron Warriors hit. More of them brought down. 4 of those removed from that squad. The last Necron Warrior destroyed. 3 mortal wounds caused on the Hellblasters. 1 already had a wound, so 2 models gone. 2 models gone from the Intercessors as well, and so now all of a sudden the Necrons will concede at this point in the game. We've seen some epic explosions in our games on this channel. Perhaps this is perhaps the most devastating ever witnessed in the history of the channel. It's literally won the game for the Red Scorpions right at the very end. Incredible. All that's left now for the Necrons is 3 Necron Warriors. Okay, so final score. Red Scorpions have picked up 3 points here, 3 points here. Line Breaker and Slay the Warlord. The Cryptek was destroyed in the explosion, so 8 points scored. Necrons, for so much of the game, look set to pick up 6. They, in fact, get none of those points. We did get First Blood, and we did get Slay the Warlord, so 2 points scored for them. But shocking result here at the end of the game. Neck and neck for so long, and all of a sudden, with one devastating explosion, the Scorpions have made it through to ultimate victory. Their persistence has paid off. Aggression, aggressive firepower, manoeuvring from them paid off in the end, and the Necrons will have to reassemble and retreat and live to fight another day. But great result here in this battle. So there it is. Thanks to Tom Cothier for coming down and playing this game. His debut on the channel. He's brought his Red Scorpions along and has led them to ultimate victory here in this game. Some extreme dice rolling we've seen from both sides, but quite a cinematic battle that we've seen, very intense from start to finish, and some deadly firepower, some deadly close combats we've witnessed in this game. But in this particular battle, the Red Scorpions have cleared the area and have achieved ultimate victory. Great battle. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Okay, so units of the game. Difficult here to choose. I would say there's any particular units have really excelled themselves. Necrons have been struggling here. I've gone for the Immortals, just they're pretty durable. Their firepower's decent enough, deadly at close range, and then their durability, they're reanimated multiple times here in this game. Their firepower's pretty good. Just that strength 5, able to cause more effect there against the Dreadnoughts. Tom's going to give it to the Redemptor Dreadnought. That was the Dreadnought moved down here and then moved across, took out those 3 Wraiths. Very pivotal moment in the game, helping to free up those units to then contribute here to the firepower against the Necron lines. Honourable mention for the Hellblasters, solid unit, nicely enhanced by Lieutenant and the Banner as well, and their firepower is pretty deadly at times, helping to clock up a lot of wounds against the Monolith. But that's units of the game, the Redemptor Dreadnought here and the Immortals for the Necrons.